about this at too much length, as I did speak extensively at council. As members will know, some of the background to this piece is that the available budget for bus services had been set to drop to zero for the coming financial year. Thanks to those government cuts that we were seeing, I think we face a very real possibility of no subsidised services at all. I met over the recent months with residents in Corringham and Fobbing and Horndon-on-the-Hill to listen to their concerns and ideas about the way forward. We also conducted consultations with overview and scrutiny and residents across the borough to gather their views and document the need for these services. As I've said before, I think these subsidised bus services are very important to our community right across the borough. I don't believe that we should have no such services at all in the borough, and I don't think that's an acceptable way forward. So a lot of work's been done by members and officers in looking at potential ways forward, including detailed negotiations with other departments over funding approaches. As I said at council, but I'll reiterate, one of the outcomes of that very strong process is that we do believe we have a plan and a strong way forward for the following financial year, in that we'll be tendering for an improved number 11 service, which in addition to its current route will serve both Horndon and Fobbing, restoring a full bus service to those areas in 2016-17 without incurring additional significant costs. So some of those savings that we've already made have been banked and will be retained. That's of course dependent on the tendering process. It's also reliant on the upcoming parking plan that we'll discuss later today being passed, with a view that the revenue raised there will be hypothecated towards supporting those local bus services. In light of that progress, Leader, I think it's right that with a view to maintaining some of those services over the next financial year, we can support those services in the interim to make sure that there is coverage. And I think it's very important to note that this isn't to be seen in the light of a one-off cost that we're just embarking on frivolously. It is with a view to that longer-term plan that we were highlighting. In our consultation with residents and indeed with ward members, of the two routes laid out before us this evening, option A and option B. Option A, which is westbound between Corringham, Fobbing and Basildon, and option B, which is eastbound between Fobbing, Corringham, Stamford, Ways and Lakeside. The choice of both local residents and the ward councillors was that option A, between Corringham, Fobbing and Basildon, would be the preferable of the two services. And so that's the route that I will suggest that we endorse this evening. Leader, as I've said, in light of the progress that we're making, I think it's right that we look to support these services in the interim, and therefore I would ask the Cabinet to support these recommendations tonight.
Two possible options. Can you just tell us again which your proposed solution is, just so we're all absolutely clear?
For residents and for local councillors is option A, which links between Corringham, Fobbing and then up to Basildon. The reason for that is that the Basildon link was identified by a large number of residents as being necessary for hospital access and for going shopping, and that's the one that therefore we're recommending.
After that council meeting with a splash that told us that the 374 was going to be rerouted through Fobbing, something that is clearly not going to happen and was never on the agenda. It's really disappointing when the media aren't at meetings, don't ask us what's going on, don't appear to listen to the tape, and then running stories like that. However, I want to say well done to Oliver and to Anne and to the team for the work that they put in. Councillor Stewart's motion was well timed, as it does give us the opportunity this evening to decide whether or not to agree to the bus service to Fobbing, whether or not it's Fobbing to Basildon or Fobbing to Lakeside. However, what is clear is that it won't be the 374, that it will be number 14. I think there are two things I'd like to add. One is kind of that message for the people of Fobbing. Your local councillor has lobbied really hard on your behalf, but now it's up to you, it's up to the people of Fobbing to use the service. The figures that we had previously suggested that very few people use that bus. So I just want to make sure that we look to provide us with accurate figures for how many people use the service for the 3 days a week. It's going to become increasingly important that we have the ammunition that we need to make a case to fund subsidised bus services against a backdrop of our grant from central government being cut in the way that it is. And I make no apology for reminding everybody, you go back to 2010-11, it was over £60 million that we were given to provide services such as subsidised buses. This year it's 26 million, and next year it will be 16 million. We have to have the evidence against which to make these decisions. So I do kind of urge people of Fobbing to use that service so we have that ammunition, that background information against which to make decisions going forward. And I just want to underscore the importance of good and sound process for setting budgets. And just to make it clear that we're able to make this decision because Oliver and David and the team have been looking for months and months at how this might be achieved. And we're not going to be kind of blown off course and take ad hoc decisions month in and month out. This is very much an exception. With that, would anybody else? No? Okay, Oliver, if you want.